So the first thing was rhythm, and what we did to learn rhythm in the very beginning is I taught you things called code words, and what the code words did is it helped you hear rhythm and then write it out on a piece of paper. And examples of those were things where we went drum, 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 drum. Those are what we call quarter notes in music, and they look like this. You go drum, 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 and then you put a little dot on it, and it looks like music, right? So that's the word drum, 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 drum. Easy for people to hear. The next code word to learn to hear or decode music is Tarzan. Tarzan, 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 Tarzan. And if I hear drum, Tarzan, drum, 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 Tarzan, drum, drum. You can see there's a rhythm. And this is easy enough to hear. You can hear this. Drum, Tarzan, drum, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, drum, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, drum, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum. Now, did anyone not hear that? That's how easy it is, really. The way they teach it in school, they teach it as fraction math, and you don't know fractions, do you? You know how to add and subtract fractions yet?
Just starting.
Just starting? It's hard.
Yeah.
And to teach rhythm that way is one way that people can learn not to play well. It's too left brain, and you can't feel the rhythm. Okay? We have to get past the symbols and feel it. This also is really good ear training. Then we learned, the next code word that we learned was the code word alligator, 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 which are called 16th notes in music. And what it is it's just simply 4 syllables in one beat. This is 1 syllable in one beat. This is 2 syllables in one beat. The next thing is 4 syllables in one beat. And it looks like this. It's got 2 flags tying it together with the dots on it like this. And the nice thing about this is, again, it's pretty easy to hear. Alligator, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, alligator, drum, alligator, Tarzan. Can you all hear it? That's how fast you can learn this. And we drilled this for weeks, and also did it with percussion instruments and playing back and forth and doing things, structural things with it, just to show. Another thing that you have to learn is this rhythm. This rhythm is drum, 2, drum, 2, drum, 2, drum, drum, Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, alligator, drum, 2, drum, 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 2, drum, 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 2, alligator, Tarzan, alligator, so on and so forth. Now, what you got to do to get most rhythms is drum 2, drum, Tarzan, alligator, and there's another one which we didn't do too much in the class, and it has a 3 over the top, elephant. Drum 2, drum, drum, drum 2, Tarzan, Tarzan, alligator, Tarzan, drum, Tarzan, alligator, Tarzan, alligator, drum, drum 2, drum, Tarzan, drum, alligator, elephant, 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 alligator, Tarzan, drum. And just studying these and no more, you can write a lot of music, and you can start composing, and you can read a lot of music. Okay? Then we have more complicated rhythms, which we call compound rhythms. It turns out that if you take the first part of this and the first part of those and substitute them for each other, then we get this other code word, which we call tar, gator, tar, gator, tar, gator, tar, gator, tar, gator. And if we take the last part of Tarzan and the first part of this, we get the reverse of this. Alazan, 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 Alazan. Yeah, just so here we got alligator, alligator, Tarzan, Tarzan, tar, gator, Alazan, drum. And this is all that's enough, really, that's enough to learn even some of the most complicated classical music. And all of this, by using the code words, will allow you to have a mnemonic code in your ear that you can hear that will then allow you to hear a rhythm and write it out. And the simple practicing of that is an important thing. Now to get back to my teacher Nicolaides, he said the most important thing for an artist to do is to produce as much art as you can in a few minutes and throw it away. And I agree. And he has a technique, he called it scribble drawing. For instance, if I want to draw the kid, I just go like this. It's crossing his legs. His head is in here. He's wearing his hat. Arms come down here. And you just start scribbling. And what happens is when you scribble draw, in 5 seconds, you can get the whole body gesture and the motion. And then you go back over it and start adding in more and more detail. We can start drawing in the pants, we can start drawing, you know, the leg crossing over the other leg, kind of things, and we can start adding in more detail as we go, put the hands in, you know, the finger on, and so on, add in the eyeballs, and then what happens is very slowly you add more and more and more and more detail and get into higher and higher resolutions until finally you got something that looks almost photographic. And any level of detail you want will work. But being able to produce something in 5 seconds and then throw it away is an important thing. Because when I went to school, he would literally make us do 100 scribble drawings in about a half an hour. We had a half-hour class. We'd give us cards like this. They'd have a model, and then we'd have to scribble draw, and he had a timer and gave us exactly 15 seconds. And he'd come around, and if all we did was the head and the shoulders, he'd yell at us and say, "What's wrong with you? You didn't get the whole body." The idea is to get the whole body, and then go back and do the whole body again, and go back and do the whole body again, and go back and do the whole body again. If you just got hung up in one corner putting somebody's eyeball in 15 seconds, it wasn't, you weren't a... Now what does this do? It creates fluidity. It creates the ability for the artist to look at something, see it in their eye, and just move their hand as fluidly as possible, so what you're drawing has the life, the impulse in it. Okay? Same for music. Okay? These code words allow us to do that. It allows us to use our right brain to hear something, hear the code words, and write it out. So we're not captured by the script with the left brain trying to figure things out and do all this really delicate little counting. We're able to feel it, just to have a feeling with it, and use the code words to produce rhythms. So now one of the pieces of paper I gave you there, you'll see, has a bunch of sayings. If you're a poet, like Richard here, and myself, quite often you want to take your poem and turn it into a song. So the first thing you have to do is take the words that you've written and then say them as you would say them normally, and then try to figure out what code words it can be replaced with, and then with those code words you can now write out the rhythm of the poem that you've written. You can take the words themselves and find these rhythms in those words. So one of the first examples is shave and a haircut, 2 bits. How many times have people heard that? So here's what I hear. Drum, Tarzan, drum, drum, rest. Drum, drum, rest. And that's all I needed to do. And I did that in real time. Bum, 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 wiggle, bum, bum, wiggle. Now I go back, put a dot on that, tie that together, put a dot here and here, put a dot here and here. Here's the measure line. This is a rest. There's a note. There's a note. And this is a rest. And now what do I have? Shave and a haircut, 2 bits.
I thought it was 6 bits.
Today it's shave and a haircut, $39.95. I don't know, what is it at Supercuts these days? About 29 bucks or something? Shave and a haircut, 30 bucks. That would be a different rhythm. 30 bucks would be da-da-da, would be
Elephant.
would be Tarzan drum. So it would be shave and a haircut, 30 bucks. You see what I'm getting at?